Hi, everyone. It's Michael Dobbs again, and I'm here today with Karl Haller. Karl is the leader of our IBM Retail Center of Competence. And Karl's going to talk to us today about what he sees in the way of insights and things that are happening within the retail industry for the coming year. So without further ado, Karl, take it away.
Hey, Michael, it's great to talk to you as always. I'm glad to see you back producing the videos again. The first thing I want to do is I want to cover a bit of the macro environment that retailers and brands are facing heading into 2023. We'll call this the next normal. We kind of had the normal, we went into the next normal during COVID, and now we're seeing what has come out on the other side. And that's really the first thing we see is that COVID is moving to the back burner with a couple of caveats. One is that we thought COVID was moving to the back burner 1 year ago, and last winter was when we saw a tremendous resurgence in cases. And two, as we head forward into 2023, we need to keep a watchful eye on if and how China relaxes their zero COVID mandate, because depending on what happens there, the rest of the world could be in for either a resurgence in cases, disruptions in production and supply chains, or perhaps a bit of both. So what's on the front burner? The economy is on the front burner. The economy is in a difficult place right now. Inflation is trending in the right direction, but it's still running at 7 to 10%, depending on which economy we're talking about. And almost every economic forecaster is predicting a recession for both the US and Europe, which is going to have a meaningful impact on consumer spending. On the consumer front, the two big trends that we see are fragmentation and hybridization. Fragmentation is happening everywhere. We see fragmentation by income. We see fragmentation by generation. We see fragmentation by lifestyle, by need state, and even by the nature of the relationship consumers have with brands and stores. Hybridization is our theme for what we're seeing in shopping behavior. It's no longer a world of online versus in-store. It's people shopping anywhere, everywhere, and all the time. As consumers shift into their post-COVID posture, we're going to see a resurgence of a trend we identified back in 2019 and 2020, shopping in micro moments. This is taking 30 seconds to 2 minutes to shop while you're in the middle of something else. Frankly, my saying that probably caused someone to stop watching and begin shopping. Competitively, we see a further blurring of competitive boundaries. We see blurring between retailers and brands. We see blurring across product categories. And frankly, we see blurring across business segments. A lot of retailers are following in Amazon and Walmart's playbook to expand the footprint and nature of the business that they're in. This might be retail-oriented expansion, such as subscriptions and marketplaces, or it could be shifts into B2B, such as retail media networks or supply chain and fulfillment services that they provide to other businesses. And then lastly, we see continued momentum towards sustainability. It's becoming more important to consumers. It's top of mind at the government level, and it's becoming something investors are increasingly interested in. Sustainability used to be tomorrow's problem for someone else. The problem with that is there are only so many tomorrows. For many, sustainability is shifting to become today's problem for everyone, which frankly is a good thing for the whole industry. And as things normalize, we see retailers keeping a more active eye on all sorts of potential disruptions. So now let's turn to what's on the retail agenda in 2023. I've been in this business a long time, back since Web 1.0, and I've never seen retailers looking to address so many things simultaneously. So in the spirit of those Web 1.0 days, here's a David Letterman style top 10 list of what's top of mind for retailers in 2023. Number 10, less meta, more verse. Don't let the metaverse hype cycle delay your move to virtualize your business processes and augment your workforce. From design to production to marketing, sales, and service, augmented and virtual reality can shape the way you do business, driving efficiencies, cost savings, and productivity across the board. Number 9, mainstreaming of AI. AI will continue to drive automation, but there will be an expanded focus on AI generation. And with this will come the need to formalize AI ethics that will become much more critical. Number 8, more devices, more places, more data. Employees have devices, customers have devices, factories, stores, distribution centers, trucks, equipment, they all have them. And frankly, many products either have a device attached or are able to be read by one. This is driving an explosion in the amount of data available and the need for more compute and more analytics to manage it. Number 7, emergence of quantum. Leaders in the retail industry are turning to quantum computing to tackle problems of ever-increasing complexity, such as monitoring global supply chains or considering the impact of weather across your global operations. Quantum also creates an existential disruption of nearly every major security platform, creating yet another challenge for CISOs who have to fight off the current threats as well as be prepared for new ones. Number 6, transformation trifecta. Supply chains are being transformed in multiple ways at once. More advanced demand prediction to know what's needed, where and when, full ecosystem transparency so you know what's happening anywhere all the time, and increased agility to be able to shift production and operations at a moment's notice. Number 5, enterprise modernization meets IT digital products. IT has operated the same way for a couple of decades. For most retailers, it's focused on selecting, implementing, and integrating off-the-shelf applications. Yet IT has a new mandate. It must be a valued creator, must be a driver of differentiation. It has to get closer to the business, and it has to be faster. This is a fundamental shift in the IT operating model, more shift toward development and creation of digital products that drive value in customer experiences and associate workflows. And these have to be built around and integrate with the enterprise platforms that will continue to be the backbone for most retailers and which are also undergoing major modernization. Number 4, changing future of work. Work used to be simple. You had employees, they came into the office, they did their jobs, and they went home. Then during COVID, we all worked at home for a couple of years, except for the frontline teams, frankly, the real heroes of our industry, who had to keep going into the store, the factory, or the DC, or keep driving the truck to get goods to the consumers who need them. Well, now we've got a mix of in office, in store, and hybrid, along with digital workers, that aka robots, and some work that migrates back and forth between human and machine. Figuring out how to work in a way that works for all parties involved at a manageable cost and with the appropriate tools is a major challenge. Number 3, and this is really a 3A, one size fits one. Experiences matter more than you think. They matter to customers and they matter to associates. Companies must obsess about their experiences and deliver on them at every touch point. The corollary to that is also number 3B, which is hybrid commerce. To meet the needs of customers and associates, we have to have a unified, harmonized approach to customer experience, customer engagement, marketing, sales, and service. And by hybrid, this is not just in-store and online. It's mobile, it's social, it's live video, it's pop-ups, it's the contact center, and even for some, it's the metaverse. So if you're thinking about omni-channel without addressing your stores and contact centers, you got to go back to the drawing board and include those physical touch points. Number 2, new revenue necessities. The economic value of retail, of buying and selling branded products, continues to approach zero. Value can be created by own brand and exclusive products, by expanding the transaction base, by offering services that customers pay for, by monetizing the value of the customer base, and by monetizing the value of data. And increasingly, retailers will see new revenue streams, not just selling things to people, but selling solutions and services to other businesses. B2B in retail is a big opportunity. And last, number 1, 2030 is closer than you think. Remember those net zero sustainability targets you set 2 years ago? Well, the time has come to bake those into the long range plan and to have specific actions, targets, and metrics baked into your annual operating plan and your performance and rewards. Aside from a handful of sustainability leaders, much of the industry is still behind in operationalizing sustainability and making it part of how we do business instead of a function that happens on the side. All right, Michael, that's a lot to do for retailers, and frankly, it all needs to be done. I look forward to this year.
Thanks so much, Karl. You know, it's really interesting to see these trends, to understand the transition out of COVID into 2023. I'm talking to a lot of people today, a lot of retailers who are looking at their 2023 strategy. And it's so important as you look at your goals for 2023 to think about how you're going to move forward with a partner that understands your industry and understands how to fit your goals into the industry today. So would love to talk to you more about this. If you'd like to speak with either Karl or myself, please feel free to reach out. Thank you so much.